09023935694, 0915-958-1881, or 0902-745-3931. Follow us on our social media platforms at High Impact 1021 FM. Our deals are hotter than the weather itself.
Our deals are hotter than the weather itself.
From the greens of golf to the court of tennis and basketball, the octagon of UFC to the square room for boxing, track of Formula One, and the pitch of football. Join the sports crew on Sport Hall 6 to 7 p.m. Mondays and Wednesdays, Fridays 5 to 6 p.m. and 2 p.m. on Saturdays. Here on High Impact Radio 102.1 FM, Lagos. Reviews, videos, and interviews just the way you like it. Exclusive on High Impact Radio 102.1 FM, Lagos. Sport Hub for all the updates and analysis.
Hi. My name is Obaloj.
My name is Olabode Easy.
My name is Oyin.
This is Ikonolu of Street Church.
Keep listening to High Impact.
Keep listening to my music.
Keep listening to High Impact 102.1 FM, the urban lifestyle station.
You're listening to Sports in a Jiffy on High Impact Radio 102.1 FM Lagos.
Bright and beautiful Friday morning right here in the industrial city of Lagos. Sports in a Jiffy on your most exciting breakfast show, the Morning Impact Show here on Impact Radio 102.1 FM. Friday the 17th day in the month of January year 2024. Right here to unpack all of the big stories that are currently making the rounds in the ever exciting, ever dynamic, and sometimes controversial world of sport. I'm bringing it to you as I see it, and I expect to hear it from you in the same way as well. If you're tuning in for the very first time, this is one place where we get to take you around the world of sports. 7 to you in bit and in pieces, tiptoeing through all of the major stories this morning. 7 fast, a lot of facts, and making it compact for your listening pleasure. Ayedeji Ajiboye is my name. Absolute honor to be your host on the show and signing out this week on Sports in a Jiffy. Because yes, we bring it to you Mondays through to Fridays. On a sweet note, I can tell you that because yesterday night in the English Premier League, it was a battle of relegation between Manchester United and Southampton. Looked so bleak at the start of the game because the first half was more like a game of Southampton to win at that particular point in time. Don't forget that United have lost 3 home matches at Old Trafford already in the last couple of games. But then took the heroics of Amad Diallo in the 88th minute of that game to turn things around, joining an elite group of himself right there at Manchester United. To the history books, guys, Cristiano Ronaldo was the last Manchester United player to score a hat-trick, and that was in the year 2022. He's also become the youngest player since Wayne Rooney to also get on that elite group of players right there at Manchester United. Show strength, show determination, and also the energy. While in the Copa del Rey last night, Real Madrid were also in action. I'll be bringing you beats from all of this in the course of the show this morning. And breaking news, guys, 9.5-year deal for Erling Haaland at Manchester City. What is this, guys? And of course, you realize that it's not possible to go to a club that's in a better position to win the biggest trophies. Okay, and maybe that's exactly what Erling Haaland is looking to do right now, guaranteeing himself huge money for the next 9 years. Well, for me, I guess that is what he's just trying to do. We'll go through the details of that in the course of the show as well. In the world of tennis, the Australian Open currently underway right there in Melbourne, and a couple of upsets we've seen already, while some players already making it through to the last 16. Carlos Alcaraz as well is now continuing his case for career slam with a 6-2, 6-4, 6-7, 6-2 win over Nuno Burgess after 2 hours 55 minutes earlier this morning. And also in the WTA, we'll also be seeing a matchup between Aryna Sabalenka and also Mira Andreeva, a rematch of this month's Brisbane semi-final. Hopefully something is going to change for Andreeva in the game as well. There was a game earlier this morning between Alexander Zverev, who is now back into the Australian Open last 16 as well. It was was able to defeat Jacob Fienley 6-3, 6-4, 6-4, and make that his 6th consecutive slam, reaching the second week, and of course the 12th one in a row for him as well. Right here on Impact Radio 102.1 FM, taking you through the bits and pieces of all the top stories. Away from that, right now to the switch of the back of the net, we'll get the show on the road. We'll start with from the home front, and of course you can keep track of this update and more by phones across all social media platforms. We're live on our Facebook fan page at Impact Radio 102.1 FM. You can as well join us on our Facebook fan page at Impact Radio 102.1 FM and on YouTube at Impact 102.1 FM. Let's start with us coming through from the Nigerian National League. We're now set for another electrifying action in the match day 6. Conference A will be seeing top spot on the line with Igbajo FC looking to host Crown FC. Crown aiming to maintain their steady start, but Igbajo looking forward to spring a surprise in front of their own fans. Abia Comet to be hosting Inter Lagos, which is a must win for Abia Comet as they face an Inter Lagos side who are eager to climb the table. Inter Lagos during their last home match right there at the Mobolaji Johnson Arena, they were 3-1 winners over Igbajo FC. Smart City will be hosting Ijele FC. Edel FC will be hosting Warri Wolves. 1472 will be hosting Beyond Limit, while in Conference B, Osun United will be hosting ABS FC, Rovers will be hosting Madiba, Sporting Lagos will be hosting Abakaliki FC, Solution FC will be hosting Kun Khalifa, First Bank will be hosting Gateway United, while in Conference C, Gombe United will be hosting Wikitori, Sokoto United will be hosting Mighty Jets, Sanfara United will be hosting Barao FC. In Conference D is going to be Doma United up against Yobe Desert, Keb United against Kada Warriors, and also Bastira FC will be hosting Adamawa United. Hopefully one of these teams get to seize the moment and deliver standard performances on match day 6 of the Nigerian National League. And away from that right now, still taking stories coming through from the home front this morning. Ahead of the crucial final group match between Eyimba and also Zamalek FC, their striker Brani Deye has stressed the significance of beating Egypt's Zamalek. Eyimba's hope in the CAF Confederations Cup hung by a thread following their disappointing draw against Al Masar in the 5th round of the competition, and the draw means that Nigerian side must secure all 3 points in their final group match against Zamalek, which is scheduled for next weekend in Cairo. And according to the striker, he's saying it's a must-win for us as Zamalek. I know they are a strong team, but we are determined to secure the maximum points. The chairman has spoken to us, and I believe it's still possible to win this match. Hopefully, they get the job done right there. Quick one before we leave the home front this morning, we'll talk about the new coach of the Super Eagles of Nigeria, Eric Sekochele, who is saying, I will win over the critics. Eric Chele, who is the newly appointed head coach of the Nigerian Super Eagles, is determined to win over critics and demonstrate his managerial capabilities. Chele, who took over from interim coach Austin Eguavoen just last week, was formally introduced to the Nigerians at the ceremony on Monday in Abuja, and his appointment followed the departure of coach Finidi George couple months ago, but it has been met with skepticism from some quarters, with questions raised about his ability to lead the team effectively. And despite the criticism, Chel remains confident in his plans and tactics. Speaking with newsmen as reported by the Malian press, he says, we play football, it's normal to face pressure and criticism. Wherever I go, there will always be supporters and also doubters. Chile acknowledged the challenges but made it clear he's unfazed. Says right now, I'm the head coach of the Nigerian national team, the Super Eagles. That's what matters. He stated that firmly. All we look forward to now is for him to steer Nigeria back on track in the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers, because the Super Eagles are currently 5th in Group C with just 3 points from 4 matches. And away from that right now, still on the home front, let's talk a little bit about cricket, because of course we all are out for the under-19 women's right now, who are upbeat about the Women's World Cup. The junior female Yellow Greens coach Sarah Bakita said the team is in high spirit ahead of their debut at the ICC Under-19 Women's World Cup in Malaysia, thanks to their impressive warm-up games against Pakistan and Scotland. The team concluded their warm-up matches for the tournament with a statement win over 14th ranked Scotland on Wednesday, having come close to beating 8th ranked Pakistan earlier on Tuesday. And a closely contested game at the UKM over in Bangui, Nigeria pushed Pakistan to their limit, restricting the Asians to 105 of 6 with disciplined bowling effort. Right now, the team will bouncing back strongly when they get into the field for the game on Saturday against Debutant as well, because their first game is going to be against Samoa, and next they will be facing New Zealand on Monday, January 20, and their last game will be against South Africa just 2 days later, that's January 22. Away from the home front right now, straight into the world of tennis, because of course one match went down earlier this morning, and I tell you, not too good. Because Naomi Osaka, two-time Australian Open champion, stopped playing because of an injury after dropping the opening set of a third-round match against Belinda Bencic earlier this morning. And this was Osaka's first run to the third round of the major tournament since 2022. Don't forget she missed time in recent seasons because of mental health. Then was off tour while she was pregnant because of her daughter Shai, who was born July 2023. Osaka began the season by making it to the final of the tournament in Auckland, New Zealand on January 5, but she stopped playing in the title match at 3 there because of an abdominal injury. And earlier this morning as well, Osaka, with the former number 1 ranked player who owns 4 Grand Slam titles, was visited by a trainer during the changeover while she led 6-5, and the trainer examined Osaka's abdominal area and gave her a pill to take and play however resumed. Just before the tiebreaker began, Osaka went over to her courtside coach's box and chatted briefly with Patrick Muratoglu after Bencic claimed that set in tiebreaker by a 7-6 score, taking 4 of the last 5 points there on forced errors by Osaka. The chair umpire announced that the match was over after 57 minutes due to injury. And next for Bencic now will be a 4th round matchup against 23 years Open champion Coco Gauff or 2021 US Open runner-up Leila Fernandez. More tennis talks on the show this morning. Third seed Carlos Alcaraz dropped his first set of the tournament, but still safely secured his passage into the 4th round of the Australian Open with a 6-2, 6-4, 6-7, 6-2 victory over Nuno Borges earlier this morning. The 21-year-old Spaniard has quietly but authoritatively gone about his business in the first week of the tournament as teenagers Oster seeds Yannick Sinner progressed in title defense, and Novak Djokovic continuing his quest for 25th major crown. 2 conversions from 4 break points were enough for Alcaraz to take the first set. He won again in the second before the experienced Portuguese number 1 snatched the momentum back at the end of the third quarter. 4-time Grand Slam champion came out in 4th set like a man on a mission, breaking the first opportunity for a 2-0 with a spectacular over-the-shoulder pass from the back of the court. Right now, it has been said that Alcaraz will be facing Britain Jack Draper or Loco Ofu Alexander Vucic in the 4th round on Sunday. Also earlier this morning, second-seeded Alexander Zverev beat Jacob Fianley 6-3, 6-4, 6-4, and American Tommy Paul down to Roberto Cabales Baena 7-6, 6-2, 6-0 to also advance to the next round. And still in the WTA right now, Aryna Sabalenka also extended a few impressive streaks earlier this morning while becoming one of the first players to advance to the first round of this year's Grand Slam tournament. In a tougher than expected match, Sabalenka beat Clara Tauson 7-5, 6-4 in a poor early serving display by both players to open the 6th day of the play at the Road Lava Arena. Both players lost their first 3 service games, and it became 7 straight service breaks when Sabalenka lost her first service game at the Love. For the top round, Sabalenka, it has been nearly 3 years, the 2022 French Open, that she has failed to advance past the 3rd round of any Grand Slam tournament. And in another early match on Friday, Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova beat Laura Sigmund 6-1, 6-2 to also advance to the 4th round. Sigmund beat Olympic gold medalist Zinwen Zhang in the 2nd round. Also advancing later this morning is Paulo Badosa, who beat Marta Kostic 6-4, 4-6, 6-3, and Incindy Donavecic, who defeated 12th seed Diana Schneider 7-6, 6-7, 7-5. Anyway, from that, straight into basketball talks this morning. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander produced a dazzling performance as the Oklahoma City Thunder avenged last week's defeat by Cleveland Cavaliers with a crushing victory. The 26-year-old sunk 40 points in 29 minutes to overwhelm the Cavaliers 134 to 114 points at the Paycom Center in Oklahoma City. Canada's Gilgeous-Alexander was held by Luguentz Dort, who had 22 points, while Jalen Williams added 19. The result is leaving the team on an identical 34-6 record at the top of their respective conferences. Elsewhere, DeMar DeRozan scored 31 points as the Sacramento Kings altered the Austin Rockets 5-game winning streak with a 132 to 127 victory. There were also wins for Phoenix Suns over the Washington Wizards. The Indiana Pacers beat the Detroit Pistons, and Los Angeles Clippers cruised to victory over the Portland Trail Blazers earlier this morning as well. Away from that, right now, straight into the world of football this morning, because of course I've got tantalizing stories to share with you. Let's start with the story coming through from Manchester United, where Amad Diallo inspired Manchester United to their first Premier League win of the year 2025. United relied on the Ivorian forward to secure a thrilling 3-1 comeback victory over Southampton at Old Trafford, and despite being behind in the 30th minute due to Manuel Ugarte Ongo, United fought back to claim the first Premier League win of the year. The Red Devils struggled to break through for much of the game and were staring at the potential upset. However, Diallo stepped up in a spectacular fashion, scoring 3 late goals to turn the match around for the Red Devils. The 20-year-old found the net in the 82nd, 90th, and 94th minutes, completing his first career hat-trick and ensure United secure all 3 maximum points. Talk about being effective, talk about being industrious. That is the tale of Amad Diallo right there last night. Don't forget, I'll be back here later this evening on the Sports Hub Show for 1 hour of banter, 1 hour of rage, 1 hour of views, reviews, and all of the interviews, where we'll be dissecting all of the hot topics currently going on in the world of sports. Don't forget, I already mentioned it to you that yes, a couple of matches went down last night, including the game between Brighton and Hove Albion, where they were able to beat Ipswich to end their 8-game winless run in the English Premier League as well. Brighton and Hove Albion traveled away from home to the Portsmouth Road, and then they were able to defeat Ipswich Town. Goals from Karim Mitoma and also Giroud were all that was needed by the Seagulls. Brighton claimed their first Premier League win since November, as goals from Karim Mitoma and Georgino Ruta helped them overcome relegation threatening Ipswich Town at the Portsmouth Road. I'm quickly going through all of the result of matches that were played yesterday in the Spanish Copa del Rey. Athletic Club were at home where Osasuna defeated them 3-2. Real Sociedad were 3-1 winners over Rayo Vallecano, and Real Madrid were 5-2 winners over Celta Vigo. After extra time, the full time was 2-2, but of course, goals in the extra time courtesy of Dani Ceballos, Brahim Diaz, Adagula were all that was needed for Real Madrid. Kylian Mbappe, Vinicius Junior, and Endrick, as well as Federico Valverde, getting on the score sheet for Real Madrid in the 5-2 win last night. Real Madrid needed extra time to defeat Celta Vigo, booking a place in the quarterfinals of the Copa del Rey. The game ending at 2-2 after 90 minutes. Brazilian Endrick scored twice in the second half of the extra period to send Carlo Ancelotti's side through to the next round. It's been said that the draw for the quarterfinals will take place on Monday, 20th of January, and will also feature Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, Valencia, Leganes, and also Getafe. Today in the Spanish La Liga, Espanyol will be hosting Real Valladolid. German Bundesliga, Eintracht Frankfurt will be hosting Borussia Dortmund. For Eintracht Frankfurt, though, it's been said that agreement has been held in principle for their star striker. That's talking about Omar Mamouche, who will be looking to join Manchester City, becoming the third already agreed deal for Manchester City. Don't forget that it's been said that teenage defender Victor Reyes will also be flying in for his medical to complete his move to the English side. It's also been said that Cambiaso, who is 24, will also be looking to join Manchester City in the course of this transfer window. Of course, sources have reported that Omar Mamouche will be joining Manchester City. I also brought you to your hearing earlier this morning that it's been said that Erling Braut Haaland is going to be signing a 9-year contract extension with Manchester City, a deal that will be keeping him at the Etihad until 2034. Don't call it slavery, guys, but of course, he knows best. He knows exactly what he wants for himself. Still going through the list of matches that will be played later today. Games in the Italian Serie A, we see Roma hosting Genoa, as well as the French Ligue 1. Montpellier will be hosting Monaco. Lille will be hosting Nice, and in the Portuguese League, we'll be seeing Benfica hosting Famalicão. And Al Sadd will be in action in the Saudi League later today as well. Don't forget I'll be back here later this evening on the Sports Up Show for 1 hour of banter, 1 hour of views, 1 hour of rage, and all of the interviews as well. Quickly, I'll give you one or two transfer bits, just as they have done in the back pages of the major dailies. It's been said that Real Madrid will be moving to sign Arsenal centre-back William Saliba this summer. According to reports, the 23-year-old has become one of the best defenders in the Premier League in the past couple of years, and he has a contract until 2027. But if the Gunners continue to fail to win silverware, Madrid could spot an opening and ready to make him an offer. Madrid also considered a move for Manchester City's winger Savio. According to report, the Brazilian moved to City last summer from Trey in a 25 million euros deal after impressing on loan at La Liga side Girona. AC Milan also interested in signing Marcus Rashford, but could move for Chelsea's forward João Felix as an alternative. Borussia Dortmund are also pushing to sign Rashford on a loan this month. Sporting director Sebastian Kerr and manager Nuri Sahin are reported to be leading the pursuit of the Englishman. Bayern Munich have contacted the management of Borussia Dortmund for forward Jimmy Gittins. The Bundesliga giants are considering a move for Gittins if contract negotiations break down with winger Leroy Sané. Barcelona forward Ansu Fati could also depart this month, with West Ham and Tottenham Hotspur interested. Fati, who is 22, was once tipped as the heir to Leo Messi. However, the things have not been the same since he broke into the first team as a teenager. Don't forget, I spent last season on loan at Brighton, where he played 27 times and scored 4 goals. Also, former Manchester United manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been appointed Besiktas lead new head coach as well. Sporting a Jiffy right here on 9 Power Radio 102.1 FM. Here's where I call it a wrap on the package for today and the last edition of the show for this week. Sporting a Jiffy will return next week from 10 a.m. down to the flip side of 10 from Mondays through to Fridays. And of course, I'll be back here later this evening at 5 p.m. down to 6 p.m. on the Sports Up Show, where we get to go through all of the big stories making the rounds and also preparing for all of the actions that will be happening this weekend. I did Jajibo signing out this morning. I tell you to stay sporty, stay active, drink enough water to stay hydrated. Go out there, be the best version of yourself. Don't forget to be kind, because kindness is cool. I'll see you when I see you once again. I do have a blessed and highly favored weekend. Tolu Ashakiumi is here to take you through the rest of your morning on the Morning Impact Show.
From the greens of golf to the court of tennis and basketball, the octagon of UFC to the square room for boxing, track of Formula 1, and the pitch of football. Join the sports crew on Sport Hall 6 to 7 p.m. Mondays and Wednesdays, Fridays 5 to 6 p.m. and 2 p.m. on Saturdays. Here on iImpact Radio 102.1 FM, Lagos. Reviews, views, and interviews.